So tell me your full name and where you're from.
I'm Buddy Carter in Coppell, Texas.
Okay,
Lori Carter, Coppell, Texas.
great. And Lori and Buddy, tell me what was life like before you began working with us?
We ate a lot of fast food. We have 3 boys who are always on the go, and so we did not really monitor what we ate at all. We ate whatever we wanted. It showed. I'd say very little energy, kind of lethargic, sleepy in the afternoons, tired at night. Just always kind of out of gas.
Yeah, gotcha. How about you, Lori?
I think that's all very true. It's just not taking any time to think it through. Just going, doing, stopping by the Sonic regularly.
Exactly.
Donuts on Saturday.
Yeah. And how were you feeling? How was that making you guys feel, overall?
Sluggish.
Yeah, definitely. Just no energy, really no desire to get out and do anything with the guys. Shoot hoops, play basketball, do anything. I just didn't have the energy. I felt out of shape. It's kind of flat.
Yeah, gotcha. So, and what did y'all try to do in the past to get in shape? And when you made attempts to get back into it, what things did y'all try to do to get back into shape?
I guess several years ago we did a program and did find success, and we talked not too long ago about what caused that to stop, and it's probably that lifestyle that you just described, just the busyness of the boys and the no 2 days are the same kind of thing, and we just kind of fell out of the habit.
Exactly.
Yeah, we tried some infomercial things here and there,
He's bad at that.
I'm bad at that. I'm a sucker for that kind of stuff. So we have several collection items in the closets,
Yes.
Different things we tried for a week or 2 weeks or whatever.
I gotcha.
But didn't stick to it. And really never focused on diet.
Yeah.
Except for when we did the previous program that we had worked on. It had some dietary, monitoring and things like that. But for the most part, we just never focused on what we ate.
Exactly. And why do you think that, those things that you purchased failed? I mean, why do you feel like that you didn't get results, from making those type of investments in those programs?
Because we only did them 3 times.
Well, I was going to say, there's no accountability.
Yeah.
There was no Gary, our personal trainer that we had, coming by 3 times a week and checking on us and, and monitoring and writing stuff down and what have you. So you didn't have that. You had each other, which worked at times, but you didn't have that constant, reminder.
Sometimes we pull each other down instead of pushing each other up. Yeah.
Gotcha. And were you, obviously, you made a decision to go with our program. Were you skeptical at whether we could help you guys to get to where you wanted to be?
Probably more skeptical of ourselves and whether or not we would stick to it and be dedicated and committed to it. I think that we've seen enough in the past to know that if you can get a regimen going and stick to it, then it will be successful. It's just having that attitude and that ability to stay with it.
Exactly. So just were you ready to make that commitment, and that lifestyle change was the biggest?
I think so.
I think so.
I felt like we were kind of in a hole, and as time went by, there were advantages to the hole. Chicken fried steak was in the hole, and sleeping in on Saturday instead of getting up and going for a walk was in the hole.
Yeah.
But we finally got to a point. Well, we had our 25th anniversary, and that was kind of a turning point for let's do something for each other.
Yep.
That's really special, and that's what we did.
That's awesome. That's great. And tell me, what type of results have y'all achieved, going through? I mean, y'all just finished up our 12-week program, and what type of results did you achieve during that period of time, from not only body composition, but just overall fitness, strength, how you feel now, what are you doing as a result of that?
Yeah, it's really been extremely positive. I've lost about 21 pounds. I don't have really anything in the closet waist-wise that fits anymore. That's the good news, bad news. So, Lori's like saying your belt's all bunched, your pants are all bunched up in the back when I go to church on Sundays and things like that. So it's a good problem to have.
Yeah.
And so clearly we've seen it. We've had people comment, family members like, what happened to you? What are you doing? You look great, that kind of stuff. So that's always encouraging and positive. I mentioned to you whenever I used to jog on the treadmill, I could feel the fat on my back kind of bouncing up and down, and that's not there anymore. So that's nice to not have that feeling. And so we have a lot of energy. I don't know, some of that's probably from the vitamins we've been taking through the program. That's been helpful, I think, to get us on a regular regimen there. We love walking together and getting out and doing stuff, and we just feel better about ourselves.
That's great. And that, I mean, I guess that's the biggest thing. What, before you weren't doing things because you felt sluggish, what are you doing now that you feel better? I mean, you go out for walks. Is there other things that you guys do that you weren't doing before from an activity standpoint?
I'm trying to think. We go ahead.
Well, so we're just getting ready to get into summer, so I'm looking forward to getting behind the boat and seeing water skiing wise. I know how I was, last year I didn't ski at all.
Yeah.
Because I felt like, one, I don't know if I'd get out of the water on a slalom, and two, I couldn't last but 500 yards, I'd be dead. So it's just whether or not, I'm looking forward to seeing the change this year, the additional strength and just the endurance and feeling better about myself. So that'll be fun to get out there and do
So
that.
you feel like getting back out in the water and
Sure.
Right.
and skiing when last year you was like, no.
I'll just drive.
I actually didn't want to take my shirt off, so much less to try to get out there and do anything. So looking forward to that.
Yeah.
And we're getting into warmer weather. And
Absolutely.
The sun's out.
What about you? I know your strength improved quite a bit through this process. What things really stood out for you that you really felt good about going through the program?
Well, an 11-pound weight loss,
Yeah.
which was, I was skeptical of that when we first met, and you told me how much I could lose, and I was like, it's not going to happen. I was kind of the doomsday on myself. I was like, well, I've been stuck here for a long time. It's going to take a lot. One of the changes I've noticed that I really liked, and I mentioned this when we first met, was that when I go upstairs at night to tuck my boys in, I'm out of breath. And when I would say the prayer, there were times I was rushing through the prayer because I'm like, I don't want them to realize that I'm winded.
Yeah.
And that's gotten a lot better. The prayers are longer.
That's great. How does that make you feel?
Good. The other thing I was going to mention is that each of our boys independently, as our program was winding down, came to me and said, you think you and Dad are going to keep this up? And that just showed me that they like what they're seeing, and they like the results, and they're noticing differences in their parents.
That
That's
is
pretty
great.
cool.
That's great. And we talked about that. One of the reasons why you wanted to do this is to be good role models for them. And
Right.
sounds like they're paying attention.
I think they are, more than I thought they were.
Yeah, they picked up on it. So.
That's
Yeah.
great. That's huge. So do you feel like, with them being concerned about you guys continue, do you feel like you've established the habits and you feel like this is something that's a part of your lifestyle now and will continue to be a part of your lifestyle?
I think so. I mean, we're making choices. For example, yesterday I went to Canton to go shopping. So the day before, I thought, okay, I've got to get my cardio in because all day I'm going to be out of pocket. So I did it, the day before. So I mean, it's constantly thinking ahead and planning. I kind of feel like you're either planning to fail or planning to succeed, and we're trying to plan to succeed now.
Exactly. And do you feel like it's harder to live this type of lifestyle than it is the lifestyle before?
I think it takes more focus. It definitely, you've got to make the commitment, one, of I'm going to spend the time and do it. And I think that's where being partners helps. And so rather than trying to do it solo, not that you can't do it solo, but I think having an accountability partner that's built in is helpful. I mean, Lori nicknamed me the hall monitor through the program. She sent an email to our trainer just the other day, the hall monitor still making me do planks. And so, anyway.
I try to talk him out of it.
Yeah, not gonna happen. So I think that accountability is great. But when we go to restaurants, I mean, you can find healthy things on a menu. You just have to work a little harder.
You got it.
And you got to dig a little deeper and ask for things maybe done a little differently. But you can get what you would prefer to have. And so we really worked hard at that. And every once in a while, we'll treat ourselves to a little splurge item. But you said yesterday you were down and you had a corny dog or something in Canton. She was, I felt guilty,
Yeah.
And so,
I didn't used to.
wasn't a problem before. So it's been a good experience. We've enjoyed changing what we eat and focusing on that and the small meals throughout the day.
Yeah.
And seeing the results from it.
And seeing the results.
Exactly.
Definitely.
Do you feel like it's worth it to live this type of lifestyle?
Mhm.
I think definitely. Like we're going to Destin in June, and we already talked about, okay, well, we can deflate the stability balls, and we can take a few of these weights and the bands, and just what can we do in that kind of setting where we can continue while you're on vacation.